education is important, but because I've signed up to be a lawyer, doesn't mean I can't be a content creator.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean I can't be in the hospitality industry with
Most
work
definitely.
and stuff. So my advice is that don't focus on one thing and think that's the end all be all. Stop thinking you can do things in isolation. It's good to isolate when it comes to personal development, but when you are working, lama setbacks, you have people around you that know what they're doing.
Yeah, were you actually ready for him?
I don't think anybody ever is. Even if you were planning it, once you have it in your tummy, you are like, oh damn, now I must be a mom. The misconception is, especially for if you're a young girl, you're pretty, oh shout out, who are you going with? Who's the guy you're not showing? We make our own money.
I saw a story in Jewel with red seats, red
yeah, but again, you guys, you Uber black.
Sanibonani, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Therapy Sessions Eswatini. Now, before I explain my inconsistency, I know I've been bad with Uber consistent, but I just want to give a big shout out to you guys for supporting the channel and giving love to me and showing guys ne subscribing and bona ne liking and bona, and for me bega out the effort and today I brought the biggest person in this country, and I'm actually doing big out here. I'm doing big and I'm giving you guys what you guys want to see. Now, before I introduce this person is one of the biggest out here, and I'm really, really honored to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, ZindziThwala. How are you, Zinzi?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You're so humble. At first, I'm like,
of course, yeah. That's the least I am.
I was like, because wow, you're doing big out here.
You should actually tell the story of how we actually met.
Right?
Tell that story of how he actually hijacked me. At a car park.
Should I?
At a car park. Tell that story and you'll see how.
I feel like if you guys want to hear that story, you need to stay tuned because now this is our stuff. So, Zinzi, since you are one of the big, I think Ngangule Telema flowers, man. We really need to give you your flowers as a country because you are one of you're part of Forbes leading women in the country.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Oh, it's been. It's kind of like, I don't even think I've processed what it actually means.
Yeah.
We've just been on the ground working in terms of the requirements of being part of that collaboration, right? So basically what Forbes has done, maybe to give it context, they have reached out to different content creators in the continent as partners to create content for one of their biggest summits, right? And it's going to be hosted in South Africa in March. And they just wanted, what's the best way to get awareness of something? Obviously, is to collaborate with people who have a following or an audience in the different countries. Let's let people know what Forbes is doing. And when they reached out to me, in terms of like, would you like to apply? Because it was a process.
Yeah, okay.
It was, so when they picked me, I was like, okay, we have work to do, you know? And that's always my mandate. When I collaborate with people, it's more, I have work to do. So it's going so far so well. We're excited to be part of the summit in March. So yeah.
Well, I'm also excited, and I'm not even part of it, but I feel like I am. I'm so excited. From outside the country, which actually shows where you can actually go big out here.
Yeah.
You can actually go big, and you believe in yourself, and you're doing this. Are you nothing part of Forbes that I've seen actually?
Yeah. I'm the only one in the country.
History. History.
I'm the only one who's part of that. But obviously, I'm hoping it's opening the doors for others. That's, for me, that's what it's about. It's not even about ZindziThwala. It's the fact that we have a representation from Eswatini. So
it should be about ZindziThwala because I mean Zinzi is the girl.
Yeah.
Zinzi is the girl. And also let's jump on how you're we owner of so I know what's the name of your beauty house?
Authentic.
And it's an award-winning beauty house.
Yeah.
And which also tells me ufunzile lo muntu.
I mean, it's very funny how I came about my business. I absolutely know nothing about salons. I'm going to channel phone. I'm going to channel. But I think I have a love for people, and the salon, which is located at Authentic in Checkers Business Park in Baban, our capital city. It's a place where I have exercise service, and I think it's a great way that I could learn business, learn how to service people, learn how to bands, especially my employees. So it's been a learning curve. We've been here for 3 years now, and we are growing. Yeah,
still holding and growing.
Yeah.
And before we started shooting, you have a degree in
strategic communication and media management.
Exactly. So I actually wanted to jump in education as an influencer. So that could I call you an influencer?
I mean, I don't like being called an influencer, but I guess in the industry that's what it is. I love the title, content creator. Yeah. Because that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Which then leads to influencing people. Yeah. We create content. Our job is to create content, and that content makes people feel a certain way, relate a certain way, think a certain way, which translates to influence. So that's why, but that's my influencer. But une connotation, when I understand, look by influencer. So I prefer being called a content creator rather than an influencer. Yes.
Yeah, but you're really good at creating content. I'm inspired every day. I watch this woman's stories on Instagram. I'm really inspired. But before we jump into her education, I really want you guys to actually know more about Zinzi, and I actually want to know more about you and your personal background on how you grew up. Can you take us through on how you grew up and the woman that you are today?
Oh, okay, cool. So I come from a family of 4. I'm the second born. So 2 girls, 2 boys. I'm right in the middle, smack bam. Ngikhulele eMhlambanyati, ngithombana seNkopolo. So did my education there, moved to town, not physically, but for school. Yeah. Ngafunze Bahai. From Bahai, moved to Nelspruit.
Oh.
Yeah, I went to Bahai.
And you were living lavish.
What do you mean?
You were living lavish.
Really?
I mean.
Went to Bahai, from Bahai, then decided to do my matric in Nelspruit and Matthews Poster College. Okay. And then moved to Joburg. But yeah, so I grew up in a very, my mom was very strict. My dad was very strict. So I was a very cautious child growing up, very stick by the rules. But I'm not stick by the rules type of person in my adulthood. Very like a black sheep, very girl against the current. The current is going this way, I'm coming this way type of person. So I was reprimanded a lot of times. And not because I'm doing like, I wasn't like that, but I'm just loud, I'm always a talker, I'm always, and my parents were just over me. So it translates now because then I did communications, then I love people, I love doing things that are questioning, which is the black sheep type of mentality, but always for good. I think that's at the core of it. So that's how I grew up.
Talking about how strict mom and dad was, can you what values did your parents instill in you that you carried into adulthood?
I think it's something that's taken for granted, but there's something about the household that I grew up in that was very conscious about and what that meant. I mean, the older you grow, you then define that for yourself. But ngakule kaya where you are home on time, you do what you're supposed to do. Even at school, don't talk a certain way to teachers. It was always you don't go out of the rules and grounds that have been set up for you. So I think for me, what they instilled for me, which is translated to work, which is translated into the corporate environment, image is a big thing. And that's why I'm so good at branding, I think, also.
Shout out to mom and dad, man. Because like mom and dad doesn't care.
Yeah, no, it always came from a very strict
You're a
household.
princess, ne?
Yeah. I mean, not even. I'm like a daddy's girl, so that doesn't translate to princess because I started driving at the age of like 13. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm not a princess, but
Okay.
definitely came from a very grounded home.
Ne?
Yeah.
And you did that, and education yakho usaqhubekana nayo till this day.
Yeah.
And usebenta le mvolo ifundzele kahle kahle.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me ukuthi kahle kahle, like, how does one, because siyangena emvasini labanye and we actually don't know our careers and siyafundza nje because mom and dad say so.
Yeah.
But actually mine deep down I want to do this and that.
Yeah.
How did you actually weigh now? You know what?
Choose.
I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna keep going with this thing.
Oh, it's such a funny story because I didn't choose. Yeah, I wish I could. And that's why maybe not to go religious on you, but I really believe my story was written from my mother's, from my mother's womb type of person. I'm that person where even if I thought God knew, you know, because we think we know and God knows. I didn't choose to be in corporate communications. That's what it was called at the time, but now strategic communications. I actually wanted to do economics. Very good at economics, very good at business studies. So I wanted to do econometrics. Wasn't really strong with maths, but I was like, I want to do econometrics, you know.
You're in maths, talk about maths.
So when I applied AUJ, and that is the only university I applied to because that's the only place I wanted to go to. Already that's faith-based.
Yeah.
Mom was like, oh, play level. I'm like, AUJ. And then I'm like, AUJ. And Mom was like, what if you don't get accepted? I'm like, I'm going to UJ. And then when I got the application, they said they accepted me, but in econometrics it's So either I have to do a bridging course or they gave me 3 other options. One of the options was philosophy, the bridging course, or strategic communications.
Right.
So I was like to my mom, no, let me do the bridging course.
Yeah.
So she came back and told me, oh, this is the email. They said this. I said, okay, let me do the bridging course, normally philosophy and what, because it will link me to the econometrics.
To the economy, yeah.
She went back and she chose corporate communication. Came back to me, oh, that's it, I guess it's for corporate com. I said, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
She said, no, you did. I said, I didn't say that. Literally, we fought for the entire time until I went to school. Nikala. Communications.
Communication.
Did that not be the best decision she ever made?
Look where
for
you
me?
are now.
Exactly. So that's why for me, I can't even give you guys like, you need to like plan your life type of thing because I thought I knew and God was like, no, I know type of thing.
Yeah. So as Mare, being this woman that you are, do you think she's the biggest influence in your life?
Influence, no.
Yeah.
Inspiration, yes. And I'll tell you the difference. Influence is someone who's literally kind of guiding you, giving you, certain a pathway and an end. And then inspiration is when I look at you, what do I feel without you saying anything, without you putting your ideas on me or. When I look at my mom, I think my mom is such a force and she doesn't even realize it, right? She just thinks she's going by her day, but she's such a person she's such a survivor. Like she's such a person who she can take nothing and make it into something.
Yeah.
And she's not trying to teach me that or influence me that.
Yeah.
So for me, yes, she's definitely a source of inspiration because even when I'm like against the wall, I'm like, my mom would have kicked down this wall with her head. So type of thing. So definitely an inspiration, maybe not influence, but inspiration, yes.
Yeah. Who's influence? Yeah, okay, your biggest influence.
My biggest influence, I won't lie, when it comes to what I do now in terms of branding and being like an icon and it was definitely when we were growing up. Now so she's subtle now because she's she's done her thing. Yeah. Was definitely Bonang. When Bonang came up, she was coming for everything, you know, and her energy was just, you could not you could not acknowledge her.
Yeah.
So I remember when I did my first interview for UJ Observer, I wanted to be a presenter. I literally stayed up the whole night watching Bedazzled.
Yeah.
So I could just get into the same energy, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously got that interview, became a presenter for UJ Observer. But yeah, but she was definitely like an inspiration when it comes to something you haven't seen before, but you want to be type of thing. Yeah.
Did you meet her?
No, I've never.
You've never? I'm sure one day you will.
Yeah.
Champagne, darling.
and yeah, it was just her work ethic for me more than even her. Because people want like her personality. For me, it was just like how she works is exactly how I want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now when you are someone out there who's as requestile, I think I told you about requestile in here, and as babugela some of the people out here that want to follow your step. What aspiring advice, educational advice would you give to someone, to someone who's a content creator, to someone who wants to be out there in the media? Understand?
Okay, my biggest advice is that I think the way we are, as a Maswati, is we very narrow, not minded. We're narrow focused.
Yeah.
Because when you say narrow minded, you can offend people. We're narrow focused, and the world is big, guys.
It is.
So when you commit to something, it doesn't mean that's the end all be all.
Yeah.
Especially when you're young. There's so many things you could do at the same time, especially when you don't have responsibility, when you don't have things that are like, but if you choose a course, it doesn't mean that's the only thing you can be focused on or can lean on.
Exactly.
You could literally, when I was doing my course, I was working, I was studying, I was researching who I want to be, I was working as a waitress. There was so many things I was doing. Because, and education is important, but because I've signed up to be a lawyer, doesn't mean I can't be a content creator.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean I can't be in the hospitality industry with
Most
work
definitely.
and stuff. So my advice is that don't focus on one thing and think that's the end all be all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Pusha.
Yeah.
Just don't focus anything out there.
Especially if you have the time, you have the energy for it. The older you get, guys, the energy. Trust me. So the younger, literally. So the younger they are, just like everything you can, grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you seem well managed, and I really want to know, Nyalo, what has been the most challenging experience you faced in the media world or anywhere actually, and how did you deal with that?
I think I struggle with. I'm not a very organized person.
Yeah.
So people think I'm organized because I'm doing so many things.
You look organized.
Listen, no ways, no chance. I could never be anyone's PA because I need a PA type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm very disorganized, so I struggle a lot with that because I've got a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
So things will fall through the crack.
Yeah.
Because of angahleleki.
Yeah.
And also I think I need to represent people who are not like that, because we're so eluded by people who are very organized. Your K-Yams, they've got a routine, they've got I journal.
That type of girl.
I'm losing my medulla. I'm losing my medulla for real, because most of the time, and obviously you guys see the clean and polished parts. This is what we're producing, this is what we're launching.
Yeah.
But the behind the scenes, I struggle so much with organization, having an organized routine, having organized time for my son. So the toughest thing for me has been just focusing on too many things, but always wanting them to be excellent. Yeah. So that can clash. And I have instances, I have examples, but that's the gist of it. I'm not an organized person and I suffer. Yeah.
So personal growth, and I actually want to know how you handle setbacks, because Sikona, Lana, and people are out here, they don't wish the best for you. And how do you handle those setbacks? Like failing out, we were supposed to shoot today and it failed. How do you handle those kind of setbacks?
I have an amazing team.
Exactly.
And when I say team, I mean in my house, in my family, my friends, my work. All of these people around me, exceptional. I don't want to be around people that are not better than me, ever. I don't want to be around. If I'm better than my helper, she needs to go. Because she needs to run my household. You understand? So for me, my setbacks are easier to come back from because I've got a team of amazing people. Even when we're shooting, even in my workspace, I can deal with setbacks because I've got people that I can lean on, right? Who can bring a solution. No, we can revoke it this way. We can look at it this way. When I'm losing my mind, I know I have people around me. So this is to say, the best way to deal with life is through collaboration. Ungakwendi konke wedwa. Ufuna kube ukuthi wena inongene room, you're the best person there. If I'm the best person in a room, I shouldn't be in that room.
You shouldn't be that.
Because I'm not going to learn anything. I'm not going to survive anything because everybody's going to be reliant on me. I need to be the least. Nangene in a room. I know in my house when I walk in, my helper's got it on lock. I can't tell her nothing, and I don't. Not in a bad way. She just has everything in order because that's her job. You know. When I walk into the studio and we're shooting, I know I don't have to worry about anything. I've got an amazing team. I don't have to worry about lighting, and that's not my job.
It's not.
It's not. So for me, stop thinking you can do things in isolation. It's good to isolate when it comes to personal development, but when you are working, lama setbacks, you have people around you that know what they're doing.
Want to sit back to a song the color. Say sit back in your way. So because Nana, starting this thing has been quite a journey. And I've learned so much in failure from Gopsi. And I want to know, before I say mine, I want to know a lesson you've learned from a failure.
Nothing's a failure. Nothing's a failure. Always a lesson. Failure for me, and people who say this and you're like, oh, rolling your eyes, of course failure is failure. It's not. If your mindset is at it, so it's only here, right? I've had encounters, for example, I'll give you an example at the salon where I really thought I was going to close down. I had no staff. They all resigned. Group consensus said they're out, right? And I was literally considering closing down. And that's when I learned, Guti, the strongest asset I have is not the money coming in, it's not my clients, it's not this building, it's not the decorations, it's my staff. And that was a learning point for me. I've had the same staff for almost 2 years now. Amazing because le mindset yami bas nabahamba laba ngabona ukuthi oh, this is a lesson. My biggest investment is that I can't run a business without bantu. So who must I invest in? Bantu. So I made sure when I got the new staff, I said, let me try one more time. Let me hire people and focus on growing, enhancing, sharing my vision with the staff. I literally have the best team at the salon now. So for me, failure is a mindset thing. If I'm not learning something from the encounter that I have or from the dead end that I have, love failure because it's going to grow. You're going to be better. You're never going to be worse off in terms of what you learn than in a failure.
Talking about failure. Hey, la therapy session is failure.
What happened?
I think I'll tell the story because I've failed a lot here. And when I decided to invest in getting a proper team. Because you know what, it's okay to get people to help you out there. Now it's okay if you have a business, get help. I feel like that's what you're trying to tell me, right? And I've been seeing you. See, close a little chapter later. I
want to know how you guys failed.
Okay, so starting, I got a work equipment, and you know, financially I wasn't stable. I wasn't okay. I'm not saying I am now. So you know, and I failed like I think 4 times. I shot episodes like 4 times,
and
it was horrible. The production was horrible. Lighting was bad. Everything was bad. I felt like just giving up on everything. I was like, you know what?
Even the feedback wasn't.
You know what? I was like, I'm not gonna post this because it's horrible. I'm gonna send and they actually did tell me, you know what, bruh, this is horrible. So I was like, hey, I didn't give up with this whole thing, and I realized, you know what, giving up is actually not the best option out there. Do not give up. It's not the best option because the end we are in, it's a beginning of a new chapter.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Because now failure, go back and sit down, both time and win again. You know what,
So what you're saying now is interesting, because how I look at it is that if I was in a position, okay? I'm in a position and I'm like, I want to start something.
Yeah.
There's a reason I want to start something.
Exactly.
Go from doing nothing to starting, right? And then you encounter failure, right? Failure puts you right back where you started.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, what's the alternative? If I wanted to start this and I was at a position where I felt I needed to grow, I needed to learn, I want to have followers, what's the alternative? Going back, the fact that I actually started something and wanted to do something.
Yeah.
Let me try again, because I'm right back at where I started, right? And if I started once more, what's the difference? So for me, the alternative is like, what's the alternative? If I give up, I go back to where I started, and I didn't want to be there in the first place. That's why I started. So let me start again. You know? So yeah, I kind of hear it.
So can you also share a moments that made you appreciate life?
Oh, definitely, like being a mom.
Exactly.
Definitely being a mom. I'm just like every day in awe of like this human.
Yeah.
I'm so in awe. I'm just like, thank you, God. Like I have a reason to live for real. And I know it's like, it's a thing now. It feels like a trend. The youth is like not interested in being parents. Children are a burden. And I get it. Like the economy is so bad. Things are so bad. Yeah. We're struggling with ourselves. How much more now I have to look after someone else?
Yeah.
But man, I don't think I'd change it for the world.
Yeah.
Being a mom has just been, I have like my vision is clear.
Yeah.
One day, for me, that was being a mom. I wasn't sure about my life. I wasn't sure who I was, what I was doing. I could literally pack my bags and be in South Africa tomorrow. Now I'm very grounded.
You're very grounded.
My vision is very clear.
Yeah.
Even when I want to give up, that's my reason to push, you know. So for me, life-changing moment, definitely the 3rd of May, 2017, when I got Monavisi Dlamini. That was just, for me, let's go.
Were you actually ready for him?
I don't think anybody ever is. Even if you were planning it, once you have it in your tummy, you are like, oh damn, now I must be a mom. I wasn't ready, but like again, I said, I'm a mindset person. When I encounter something, I shift my mindset to make it work. Yeah. So by the time he came, I was very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, guys.
You're not ready? No, can you show me? And I'm not supposed to close on Jan.
Hi.
No.
I feel like for me to have a young and a little Warren, I need to be stable financially as well.
Good, you're stable. Like I wish I could instead you're getting older.
Yeah.
The energy you have right now, you won't have in 5 years.
Exactly.
The burdens that you have would have tripled by then, because responsibility, the older you grow.
Yeah.
Good, you're stable. Yeah.
So appreciate that. Maybe I'll consider.
Yeah, you guys should. I wish I could have another one.
You wish?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, shout out to that little man. Shout out to that little man. Your mom is doing big things out here. Yeah, but anyways, I'm so happy for you for that journey that you were in.
Thank you.
To lighten up the mood, hey, this woman travels a lot. Recently you were in Cape Town and you enjoy our now.
It's for me, enjoy.
Not enjoyment.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about like utata a trip alone, solo trips? You take solo trips and does it come with risks? Does it come with, how do you prepare for that?
The world is not that harmful. Honestly, the world is not that harmful. For me, it's I do so much.
Yeah.
I pour my heart out into my business, into my job, into my child, into my household, my content, my platforms.
Yeah.
I need to refuel.
Yeah.
I need to be at a place where I do something for me. I'm alone. Also, if you have a child, it's very hard to be alone. Even if you go home, when I get to the minute I get home, mommy this, mommy that. Yeah, so definitely do solo trips because just pouring into self.
Yeah.
It's safe, guys. It's affordable. Also, you can plan it out ahead. You can choose specific time in the year where it's affordable. Obviously, I'm not going to go to Cape Town in December. I'm not saying I won't, but you can always. My first solo location was in the country. Went to Mbuluzi Game Reserve. Was there for like a week. Amazing, quiet. No network, no reception. I can't call you, can't call me.
Exactly.
I can't see anything on social media. It was amazing. So it doesn't even have to be Cape Town or Paris. Literally, there's so many beautiful places in the country.
Exactly.
Shout out to our beautiful country. And you can explore that 2-3 days alone. Sleep, eat, rest, come back and conquer the world.
Yeah, so because nje mina nangaqala traveler babuda nje wena wathi ngimlokufunda wena like how do you now, so I actually want to know what a misconception people have on
and that's exactly what I'm explaining now. It's actually not that expensive if you plan it out ahead. Nale mina nje when I went to Cape Town in February.
Yeah.
No, I was in Cape Town in February.
Yeah.
All the places are trying to get people money special because December was blowing money time of the year, right?
Yeah.
So by the time kind of February, the prices are affordable, the traveling is affordable, air tickets are affordable. There was a special year, which is what I use. Special is a Valentine's Day, so Eswatini Air. I used that special to buy tickets to Cape Town.
Yeah.
You see, so the misconception is, especially for if you're a young girl, you're pretty. Oh, shout out, who are you going with? Who's the guy you're not showing? We make our own money.
I saw a story in Jewel, my red seats, my red
yeah, but you guys, Uber black. Okay, Uber black.
People were coming for you. They were like, hey.
But also, it's fun. I think the reason why my platform is because I'm very open.
Yeah.
People can literally, if you guys saw my DMs, you guys would not even. I don't even know you from a person. So you don't know me. I laugh and I keep it moving.
Yeah. But anyways, Usasa Kuluma, do you actually keep your relationship private, or is there a relationship out there so you could know out there as gents out there? Really?
They don't need to know nothing.
Give us something.
I'm not in a relationship currently.
Okay.
Even if I was, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say because it's not anyone's business.
Yeah, it's not actually.
Relationships are hard, even 10 times more when you put them out in public.
Yeah.
The public scrutiny, and I'm a person who's chosen to be public. So imagine how difficult it is for someone I've chosen to be with who doesn't like to be in the public eye, and I am. The scrutiny is just too much.
It's too much.
It's such a small country. But yeah, currently not in a relationship. I'm too busy. Unless someone wants to ride on my wave.
Hey, you are very busy.
I'm very busy.
You are very busy. But anyways,
also, like, the choice is, there's not much choice.
So what's your time? What is your time? I want to know.
My type of person is a person who is very, like, secure about themselves. For me, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
A person who's secure about who they are, not defined by their relationships, whether it's family, whether it's girlfriend. I'm very like, exactly. We can gel like that, right?
I want money.
Exactly. And you're gonna and your efforts are gonna reflect that. It's not gonna be a thing where how are you? If I'm with a person, like my type of person is a person who's very secure in who they are, and then wants to be part of my life, and I want to be part of theirs. I think that's the best definition. I don't have a physical type.
Right.
Actually, maybe I don't think I'd ever date a skinny nigga. I don't know.
I open the notebook.
I don't think I would because I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I don't do it consciously.
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, send you really good gents out there. I hope you guys are ready.
The next thing I'm gonna get married to a skinny man. You guys are gonna judge me.
Anyways, is there anything else you'd like to talk about today on how what actually happened today? What a lesson you got from today besides?
And then I should do podcasts more because this is fun.
It is,
yeah,
right?
It's fun, and this platform is really, really nice. So I think I should do this more. I'm always so busy that I think I can't.
Wait, is this your first interview? Is this your first podcast?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But I think the last one thing I ended was a long time ago.
Yeah.
With Bopelo. Who else have I done a podcast with? I haven't. I don't do them much. And also really not because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Time. I think even us getting here today was
hectic.
Yeah, we had to find a date, choose a date, time, venue, the works. So
now you see the energy I put into this.
Shame, he really tried. He really tried to lock me down. So I think I should do this more. I love sharing my story. And if they have questions, they must bring the questions also so that we can have like a really varied type of conversation. Yeah. I
actually loved you today. You are such an amazing person.
Thank you.
I have more questions, but anyways, because of the time and how Zins is well managed, there's very spicy questions I have. But
oh my goodness.
You know what? We're just gonna keep it very therapeutic.
Yeah.
Very therapeutic.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah. But anyways, before we close this out, how can our listeners connect with you or follow your journey?
Oh, I'm on, I think, all the platforms.
Yeah.
If you want like long form content where it's like taking you through my day or what I'm busy with at the moment or which event I'm attending, then you'd probably find me on YouTube. But if you want like the day-to-day, bam, 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 like you said on my stories, that's definitely Instagram.
Yeah.
If you want unhinged, uncensored version of me, jump onto my TikTok.
Yeah.
My LinkedIn is very, because I don't like LinkedIn. But you will find me there because it's got all my accolades and what I've been doing.
Yeah.
If you want to see old me, I have Facebook. I don't have that. I haven't had it in years. I haven't been on Facebook in a long time. But if you want to search for me, you'll find me on Facebook. So I'm on all the platforms. Twitter is Sabagufa. So they can connect on me with.
I don't understand Twitter, to be quite honest.
I'm scared. I feel like it's just such a big scrutiny type of. So I'm very scared of Twitter, but I'm on it as well. For work purposes, of course.
Before we close this out, ladies and gentlemen, I actually want her to give you guys a piece of advice, on how to move on, as if you want to be in the media industry, if you want a school vibe or anything, Zinzi Langayo, I want you to give them something to keep them moving and going.
Okay, so my biggest advice is take everything that you commit to seriously. So if you are starting a new course, if you're starting a new job, starting a new relationship, give it like your utmost. Show up as your best self, basically. And that means time, research. Half-baked to anything. Whether it's school, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's content creation. Don't come half-baked to anything. And the output you have better relationships, you have better grades, you have better connection with people with your content creation. For me, it's like, don't start something with one foot in and one foot out. If you commit to something, give it your utmost best. Show up as the person you envision yourself being, even if people haven't perceived you in that way. So by the time they're like, hi, Bo, Warren, no already, So for me, always show up to something you've committed to 110%.
Yeah. But as I'm sorry to go back there.
Problem.
And one of the kindest girls out there who's a huge follower of yours, I would go there. She actually asked me, can you actually ask Zinzi, how does she bags those brand deals? And Nyambono also advertised the last pin. What's this Puma thing you did?
Oh, Puma, Africa.
You're working with big brands out there, and you're holding content creation.
So it's funny because, and this goes back to what I'm saying now. You guys see, so Warren I started this journey long ago. Probably kind of 2018, where it was more building a community than it was trying to get brands, you know? Because now everybody's trying to get brands, but it's like, have you built a community of people? Because what brands want is not me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And I think that's where we miss it. We always want to rush and be like, how is this person? But brands are not looking for me. They're looking for the people that are looking at me.
Exactly.
So for me, I had to build the community of people that trust me, that love me, that I love back, that I know their personalities. I know they are these type of people, and. So now, by the time I'm like, oh, Mang, do you want to work with me? They're like, why would we want to work with you? And I'm like, because I've got 10,000 people that you would like to work with, you know? And then they're like, okay, yeah, very funa abantu laba 10,000. Ngithule ngabo. And bangithanda noma ngiyabathanda, yabona. And nangibatshela ukuthi abathenga, bathenga, yabona. And bathenge vele. So for me it's like you need to literally focus on building the community, and that's why people will talk about niches. Do your niche because bafuna ukuthi wakhe le community yakho. Nangabonisa that nwele. Build people in the fact that be the person that they know. But if I need anything about hair, I'll go to this person. Because then the brand that is promoting hair, for example, will be like, who do I go to? Oh, Warren. Warren has got 2,000 people who are obsessed about his hair journey. You know? And we miss it by just trying to like, how do you bag the brand? I bagged a community. That's what I actually did. I didn't bag a brand. I bagged a community. And the community of people is what now the brands want me for. And I'm like, And that's why now I can sit down and be like, I can't work with you. My community would never understand why I'm in that, you know? Because I know who I can sell to. I know who I can, you know? So for me, it's like, don't miss it. Don't rush for the brand. Rush to build the people. Because, and my followers, people should want to follow.
There should be a reason.
There should be a reason. What are you giving them? I get people all the time, please follow me back. I go to their profile, I'm like, what am I following?
What's there?
And not in a bad way. It's like you posting your food wasn't lean. I don't want to wake up on Instagram and see what you ate last night. Not in a bad way. I'm trying to find people things that mean meaning to me. So this thing of just getting people to follow you for what? You know, So
I haven't forgot that because I'm getting so much from you, and you are really an amazing person.
Thank
to be quite honest, I hope you guys are inspired by ZindziThwala here, as I am. And fun fact, you are the first woman in therapy sessions. So a round of applause for that.
I wish I had more like woman energy.
Exactly.
Right?
You're giving chilled vibes.
Excellent.
Anyways, please go ahead and follow ZindziThwala because
let's grow the community.
Let's grow the community. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And Utela Vida Cafe, and a big shout out to Vida Cafe for giving us the space to work here and shoot our content. We're not able to figure out and get yourself a coffee. They have the best iced lattes.
They have the best iced coffee in the country. Love it so much.
Yeah, but anyways, I hope you guys got everything from here as I did. Guys, start that channel. Take that phone, record if you want to be in the media space. Because fear is just a mind killer. Exactly. But anyways, before we close this episode, I would like to give a big shout out to you. Thank you so much for coming.
For having me, for inviting me, for hounding me down. To finally be on the seat. To finally be on the seat. It's been absolutely, and just shout out to you guys as well. I think I've seen the growth. I've seen the engagement, and like again when I met him, I was like, why is this guy hounding me down? Like, hi Zinzi. I'm like, But I love that so much because look at where we are now.
Putting in the work, putting in the energy.
Exactly.
Anyways, before we close this out, if you watched Wafika Lana, I would like to give you a round of applause. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. One view is better than nothing. So and guys, in both travel. I mean, I'm planning to travel actually.
Please.
But for now, I'm 30 minutes. I'm 30 pop. 30 pop. But anyways, thank you for watching. Until we meet again, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell for the next episode. And go follow me on all my social platforms to let me know who do you want to see next on Therapy Session. I hope this episode was therapeutic enough for you. Until we meet again, it's adios.
Bye.